Hi Cancer, welcome to the New Moon in Capricorn reading for January 21st, 2023. My name is Susie. This is Jupiter Rising Tarot Cafe channel. Look at that beautiful light that's streaming in on your reading. I think it's special. And you have, for the 2-week period, the theme of the Tower. So interesting that the light is streaming in here because it is sort of the aha moment. It is an enlightenment that kind of comes out of nowhere, a little bit unexpected, but it's a sort of an awakening. And like I said, it wakes you up out of a slumber. It can come unexpectedly. It can be a little bit of a shock or surprise, but it frees you. It releases you from something that probably wasn't good for you in the first place, or it wasn't solid. The Tower, for me, is like the hand of God that wipes away what is no longer necessary or needed in your world. And as much as we try to hold on to it, it must go. But it is freeing. It frees you from something. It's when you really get it. It's when the fact really lands and you really understand the concept or the idea, or why it had to happen this way, or why it is happening. It's something undeniable. Let's see how that plays out in your reading. The nice thing about it is that what is released, or what is taken away, or what is gone, allows you to rebuild on much more solid ground. Some people say it's a blessing in disguise. So you have the Queen of Cups card. That is my Scorpio card. This can be you and how you're feeling about situations. And this is somebody who is very focused, very intent on studying their emotions. They're kind of sucked into their emotions at the moment. But you also have this King of Pentacles, which I find interesting because they're not. They are people who just get down to business. They're highly focused on their finances and their work. They are usually only busy with those things and can really negate other things around them. But they are master of the material world. And so maybe you're trying to align your emotions to become master of the material. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive, so she could also be using her intuition to master the material. But there is an emphasis on emotion and an emphasis on your physical well-being. We'll get more cards on that in a minute. This is my Gemini card. Very, very good in business. Very business-oriented. Maybe you want to make your psychic intuitive energies, or something that is emotional to you, a business. That's also very possible. Something very creative, a business. That's also possible. Cancer for me is the entrepreneurial energy, so it's very possible that you want to start something for yourself. Let's look further. This is you and how you're dealing with the whole situation. You have the Eight of Swords. So for me, that is sort of mentally feeling like our hands are tied, or thinking that our hands are tied, or that we can't affect a solution, because it is swords, it's action, and it's mental. But we're putting a lot of energy and emphasis on the fact that we can't do anything about it at the moment, that our hands are tied. And this can be a big fear of yours, not being in control. Not being in control of the situation. The moon is something, well, first of all, this moon can affect you in a way that you feel that your hands are tied, or that you are ineffective in some way. And this can be a emotional and psychological imbalance with the Queen of Cups. What might pull up the insecurity that you think you can't. The Eight of Swords often means that you aren't supposed to just yet. But the moon gives you that deep subconscious feeling. The moon has no logic to it. It is all intuition. It is all feeling. So you have two very intuitive cards here. So, Cancer is pretty psychic anyway, but this could really boost your psychic, intuitive energy. You could feel some very weirdness around, like things feel strange and out of place, and you don't belong in this kind of weirdness, that's this card. It's like, what am I doing here? It's kind of like being stuck in the mud, stuck in the mire, but what am I doing here? It's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this. All right, and the results. You have the Empress card, which is a nice card for me. It's the Mother card. It's Venus. It is abundance. It's the card of abundance and fertility. And when you see yourself as part of nature, not apart from nature, then you are also abundant and fertile. And the Three of Swords. Okay, so with that card we can feel separated again. So maybe this is the feeling of separate from nature, or it could be a separation from motherhood. There can be some issues mentally and emotionally, and that's really what I'm picking up here, this sort of mental, emotional energy that's feeding each other. And for some people, this is the Tower energy. So for some people, they could be separated in some way from a parent or a child, or there could be difficulties with pregnancy or getting pregnant. That's also possible here. Maybe you aren't feeling your usual creative self with this card. But the Three of Swords is separation, and it's healing from a broken heart. And maybe we just feel separate from this energy of motherhood, or maybe a child has moved away. It's that kind of energy. Maybe a mother or a mother-like figure, a grandmother, isn't feeling well, or could even be having some psychological issues. That's also possible with the moon. And that leaves us feeling like we can't affect a solution, like we can't change situations. Let's get some clarification here, because that's a lot of maybes. All right, let's go for the first row here. You have the Judgment card. So there can be information that you hear. Now this King of Pentacles, sometimes they are doctors. because they are people who have mastered the physical. So there can be news possibly about fertility maybe, or illnesses, that kind of thing. It could be emotional illness as well, emotional imbalance, emotional instability as well. And we might have to be making some decisions with the Judgment card. This feels kind of heavy. I'm going to pull another one. And I guess it would with the Tower. Yeah, you need some inner strength here. But these are both healing cards, just so you know. Both of them. The Strength card is healing, but it's courage, and it's finding inner strength, and it's dealing with that beast within, getting sort of self-control with the Strength card. And the Judgment card is hearing something that kind of wakes you up from a sleep, from a slumber. It wakes you up. It gets you up and moving and doing something. You make a decision. You make a judgment, like a quick call on something. With the Sword, Eight of Swords, and the Moon, I really feel like we aren't seeing things clearly. And also that feeling of not being able to change the circumstances, or things are not in your hands. Five of Swords. Yeah, that's kind of like a no-win situation with the Five of Swords. Five is always about instability, and this is this can be the impact of your words on other people, or their impact on you. That's also very possible. But again, it's that sort of things are not in my hand, or it's defeated kind of energy. It's difficult. This is difficult. I'm sorry. The outcome is a choice that we need to make. A bit of a crossroads that we're dealing with here. And this card, the Lovers, always asks you to take the higher choice here. The man looks at the woman sort of lustfully, so that's a very base energy. But the female looks at the angel, which is the higher mind. And the Lovers is about decisions. I'll pull one more there. The Nine of Pentacles. This is an inheritance card. It is also a strong, independent woman. Through her own hard work, can create a beautiful life around her. That's a nice card to finish up with, I think. It is a bit of a luxurious card, which I find interesting because so is the Empress. They want to beautify. The Empress is Venus, right? So there's some beauty, physical beauty, as well as internal, but there's, with the Nine of Pentacles, there's this energy of loving craftsmanship and workmanship and wanting to surround yourself with that energy, with that beauty. It feels a little bit secondary to the reading, and maybe it's just sort of like, it is a conclusion because there's a Nine of Pentacles there, and that is perhaps where inheritance comes in. That's also very possible here. So I find this a very moody reading. I feel like there can be a lot happening on an internal level, but decisions, some tough decisions that I think you might have to make. You are a stronger person for it, but it doesn't take away from that Three of Swords energy. I mean, it could even be divorce or, leaving somebody is also possible here. But it is healing from a broken heart with the Three of Swords as well. What does Spirit want you to know? You're the Page of Wands. Well, that's interesting because the Page of Wands is a new adventure. And so it's very possible, because remember you have the Tower card, so these are things that were unexpected, and maybe the Page of Wands is saying now it's time for something new. The Page of Wands is also philosophy, so you can really fall back on a strong philosophy, both with the Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles would be a work philosophy. The Queen of Cups would be the emotional philosophy, if you will. But the Page of Wands has a very philosophical energy about them. They have a spiritual energy, and they are people who, it's my Sagittarius card, they're people who are good members. They want to be a part of a group. And so it's very possible that you seek out a group situation that you'd like to join, or music is really important to a Page of Wands, so it's also very possible that there is particular music that can soothe your soul and help you to find some peace in the situation. But it feels to me like this is the conclusion of, maybe you want to travel. Ooh, maybe you want to travel, because the Page of Wands is an adventurer. He definitely is the world traveler, and the world is inviting you to come out and play. It's also the end of a cycle, and there are just small things that you have to do in order to move on to the next cycle. So that could be something that you are dealing with also during these 2 weeks. Okay, I hope it's not as heavy as it's coming across to me. I hope it isn't. I really do. I wish you the best of luck. I just wish you the best. Okay? I will be back in 2 weeks with a full moon reading, and this could also be somebody who is helping you through something. That's also possible, that they're the person who are helping you to find some inner strength. That's also possible here. Could be quite a few scenarios playing out. It does feel kind of vaguish, so I guess it's different for everybody. Okay. Be well, Cancer. I will speak to you in 2 weeks. Thank you for listening. Take good care.